Hello walkers, and welcome to Hot Springs State Park in Thermopolis, Wyoming. It is 11:30 a.m., 84 degrees Fahrenheit, 29 degrees Celsius. Oh, what happened to my sign there? There we go. In fact, my name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide as we walk around the Hot Springs State Park and explore a little bit. I'm going to give you a little bit of history, a little bit of information as we walk around. I have not spent significant time here. I never actually soaked here. My family has. I just did a walk downtown and up to the entrance of the state park. I'm going to flip you around here. You came to see the walk, not me. But I want to thank you for joining us today. Give us a like, a thumbs up, all that stuff. Give us a subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And then also, leave us a comment. I do love comments. I love interacting with you guys, hearing your thoughts, your memories, your experiences, and even your suggestions on how to make these walks a little bit better. We've got a residual geologic feature from Hot Springs there. Just gonna pan over to the visitor center. Nice green lawn, and then you've got the school. That's the high school over there. I think they've got some camps going on that are getting out. People are picking up their kids, and this is the entrance to the Hot Springs State Park. I've done all the fun stuff, that sort of thing. This is an exploration I mentioned. I will be learning stuff as you. Cool little homemade camper here, just as you will, hopefully. So if I miss anything or make mistakes, please feel free to gently correct me in the comments below. This is a state park overseen by the Wyoming State Department of Recreation and Parks or something like that. I'm gonna let these motorcycles pass. So this land was formerly, it was acquired from the Shoshone people and the Arapahoe people in 1896 through a cession agreement or a treaty in which the U.S. government paid $60,000 for 100 square miles. That's a good price, even back then. And in 1897, the federal government, I believe, ceded 1 square mile to the state of Wyoming, and it soon thereafter became Wyoming's first state park. Welcome to the 360 folks as well. I got to dodge back and say a couple things. I've started a separate City Walks 360 channel called City Walks 360 for the 360 walks that I do, and as well as other VR type 360 experiences that I film. For instance, last weekend, I filmed us floating through the Yankee Jim Canyon on our raft through the whitewater there. That was a lot of fun, about 15 minutes. Some jumping off of rocks and bridges as well. So check that out. Subscribe over there if you are into that sort of thing. I want to thank our Patreon supporters for your support. I really do appreciate it. I'm still a little surprised that you guys, pleasantly surprised and flattered that you guys think that this channel is worth supporting. It makes me feel really good and really validated. So thank you very much. Okay, back to our walk. We're about to cross the Bighorn River. And if you go upriver, not that far really, a few miles, you'll get into this amazing canyon that I'd really like to float, although it might be beyond my capabilities, my skill level. Looks like a beautiful place to float, beautiful place to fish, maybe, but I think it's also on one of the reservations. I think it might be the Wind River Reservation. You can see what a beautiful river this is, and I can see someone down there fishing right now. Lovely clear water. And then upstream also, beautiful river. We'll take a look down here. We'll lean over and take a look in a minute, or right now. It's a little murky here, but pretty clear. I bet you can haul some really nice trout out of there. You can see the riverside path, which goes up and downstream from here, and we'll explore that a little bit as well. Within the park boundaries, you have a couple hotels. You'll see one over here on the right, the Days Inn. You can actually, I believe, pay for a $5 day pass there, and they have a soaking area. Although, I kind of feel like that's something you probably get to do that for free if you stay there. And so the other pools look a whole lot cooler. And we'll take a look at those in a little bit. We're not going to actually go in. There's another one called Star Plunge and one called Helio Teepee or something like that. It's got this cool golden dome. Both of those you have to pay for. The state-run bathhouse is free for 20 minutes. But I think apparently you just have to sign in, so I don't think they really police it too much unless it's crowded, maybe. Let me know if you've been here and can attest to that, the accuracy of that. The Safari Club is a restaurant. Wow, there is a, Best Western Plus Plaza Hotel on the left. That looks like an old state building, governmental building, which is kind of cool. Old architecture. You can see a lot of people coming in here with their trailers. So I can only assume there's an RV park around here, or at least a place to park your RV while you soak. Kind of a neat old building. Kind of a 1920s style, I would say, 1930s. I don't know what that is. There's probably a name for it. Off to the right here is the Pioneer Home, which is a retirement home for our seniors. Not our seniors, I'm not from Wyoming, but Wyoming seniors. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go straight here. Look at all these green lawns. They must be dumping a ton of water on here. There's someone in a hurry. And we're gonna loop around to the left when we get up here to this hill. It's a lovely little park. Great place to play, and look at these big trees. And what I like about these big trees is they give you big shade, because the sun out here is blazing. So 84 degrees really isn't that hot with pretty close to zero humidity. Although it's a little humid around here. But if you're in the sun, even in the mid 70s, you feel it, man. We are close to the sun here. Got about a little under a mile less atmosphere between us and its mighty rays. You can sort of see the gold dome of the teepee pools. Also, in that hill sticking up to the right of the tree looks like some white painting with an arrow pointing to the hot springs. I'd like to think that that is a relic of a past time and is no longer being kept up. Here's a question for you to ponder. What is the difference? What are the differences between graffiti and public advertising? Anyway, just a thought to think occurred to me. Okay, so the water comes out of the hot springs at 135 degrees constant with, I don't know what the output, I couldn't find that on a quick research. what the flow output is. But by the time it gets to the public bathhouse and these others, it's down to about 104 degrees. So you're not going to scald. You can't soak in the origin area of the pools. Partly, I assume that's for public safety. That's really, really hot. Teepee Spa, State Bathhouse, bison pasture. Sweet. All right. Let's go up here and we'll take a look at the Star Plunge, which is going to be on our right. There are a couple water slides and stuff here, so I'm interested to see where those are. You can look all this stuff up if you go to, I don't know, I did a Thermopolis, Wyoming search, came up with a Wikipedia article and another couple blog posts with plenty of information, including entry fees and rules. Love these flowers though. It's pretty nice. Neat old pavilion over there. I don't know what that round area is. I wonder if they turn that into a skating rink in the winter or something. Don't you dare sprinkle me. Somebody was telling me that these in-ground sprinkler heads are super cheap compared to like a sprinkler you would get from, oh, don't do that to my 360 camera. Okay, here comes the Star Plunge up here. We'll go take a look. Oh, a little dinosaur sculpture. A multicolored stegosaur. Stegosaurus. Yeah, I'll go with that. It's kind of fun. Yep, RV parking up the hill. I didn't mention this is not going to be one of the longer versions, longer walks, but it will be fun. All said and done. Yeah, so they've got at least two water slides, a recreation center, hot mineral pools. I'm not going to go inside. It's private well, it's not. It's a concession maybe. I don't know how they work that. But I got a 3-foot, 2-foot pole sticking out of the backpack, and I'm 6'6", so it makes getting around a little bit tricky. But we'll peek through the fence. Well, they do have a jumping board, not a diving board. You're not allowed to dive, I read. But we've got an indoor pool and an outdoor pool. Hopefully I don't get run over. Sploosh. Cross over. And I'm gonna, looks like there's a bison pasture, this according to the sign. I had no idea about that. But we are gonna walk over here to the Travertine Boardwalk. I'm going to avoid these kids playing on the playground. Lovely park. I haven't seen green grass in quite a while. Not this lush. It's been a dry summer. I think I may have lost our 360. Let's see here. Nope. Like we're still recording. Awesome. The 360 camera, for those of you not watching the 360, or for those of you who are, it cuts out at half an hour, 30 minutes. And then if it gets too hot, it usually tries to, it'll cut out for 30 seconds and then start up again. But if it gets too hot, like on a hot day today in the sun, it will not, it'll go for like 90 seconds and quit again. And I've tried in the past to get it going, and it seems like it's more of an issue than it's worth fixing, because the main channel is the flat City Walks regular. So this is travertine. It reminds me of Mammoth Hot Spring Terraces, and it's the deposit of the mineral deposits from the hot springs. You can smell the sulfur here in the hot air. I just want to show you, that's Teepee's, Hellies Teepee Spa, Pool and Spa, and that's the state bathhouse down there. We'll go walk around the other side of those in a little bit. Hi there.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. So we get to see some of the water up here. Anyway, the water seeps out, evaporation takes place, minerals are deposited over time, and you end up with these little ledges, because they'll create a little lip, and then it pools up, dries on the lip, pools up, dries on the lip, and you get these pools. And they're really kind of cool. What else is cool is the slime in there. Now, you wouldn't think that anything could exist at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. But they're called extremophiles, and they've actually, in Yellowstone, they sampled those, and it actually, I believe, led to the invention of CRISPR gene editing technology, or something somehow enabled that, the replication of that stuff much more quickly than it had before. And yeah, so pretty cool. And I have followed a dead end. So I have chosen poorly. You can see people out there wading and fishing. Beautiful looking fishy water. Now I have to make a decision here. I'm gonna look at my time. Okay, I am going to take us over the footbridge, to the footbridge, and then we'll backtrack a little bit. And I know you may think, oh, we've already been there, but you haven't been there from this direction, so you get to see a whole different direction. At least that's how I rationalize it. The Golden Dome looks quasi-religious almost. And I'm curious about when that was built. If you know, please let me know. It's not affiliated with a religion as far as I know. There's some killdeer up here. Little birds calling. There's a dog up here. I'm going to assume you have to keep your dogs leashed. Even if they're the goodest dog. That dog might have been in the river. Oh, maybe not. Oh, it's warm. Warm and humid coming off that, the breeze coming off that. Hi there. Hi. Off these springs. There. You can hear it, I hope. It's not too windy. I'm going to adjust the microphone there a little bit. Hopefully you can hear the water flowing. It's kind of getting dammed up by the boardwalk here because, as I said, this stuff accretes and grows and changes. And then one area will dry up and another will start flowing. The colors are nice too, and I think the colors are very much dependent on the temperature. believe the hotter it is, the oranger it is. This guy seems to be trying to let some water through, maybe. He's just unblocked that area. I can see why you would want to do that, because eventually it'll tear up and flow over the boardwalk here. These killdeer are fussy. A little interpretive sign here as we make our way around and over to this footbridge. 1916, a year of improvements. I'm going to go ahead and just put that on there. You guys can pause if you want to read it. Hopefully it's enough resolution for that, but otherwise I'm not going to take time. Look at this beautiful canyon, and it looks like there's another interpretive trail up there that's unimproved. This is not wheelchair accessible, as you probably saw on the sign, but we're going to go over here. Oh, it's definitely swinging. Hi there.
Hi.
And we're definitely high up. Very cool. It's a little tough to walk on. But we're gonna go, I'm gonna stop in the middle and then we'll go across and get a view of the travertine stuff. I'm gonna lean over very carefully so 360 folks can see. Looking down. All right. All right, so over here is where it becomes, I would say, less accessible to wheelchairs, but some cool trails along the shore here. We're gonna just go a few yards down here to take a look. Look down into the canyon. When we came through in June, I think it was on a weekend, and today's Wednesday, but it was on a weekend, and lots of people were floating the river in tubes and rafts and kayaks and that sort of thing. Looked awesome, like an awesome thing to do on a hot day. You can see kind of the hazy smoke sitting here. It's not too bad today, barely even noticeable, which is a nice relief. You can see another look at the footbridge, but you can also see the travertine cliffs here. How they almost dripping over the side there. Looks like they're melting. Very cool. I'm gonna come down here and take a look. Good place for an Instagram shot if you have your Instagram account. I have one. citywalks_virtual travel, but I rarely post to it. So definitely want to be careful, but you can kind of hear the water run off. And then over there is a boat ramp. Alrighty. Oh, some kids with their inner tubes. I don't know if you can tell, but they've got like a little llama and a unicorn maybe. And then you've got, looks like a guided fishing trip over here. They've anchored up and are waiting. I'm not going to get too close to the edge here, but I'm going to get a little close. All right. Very cool. That may be our thumbnail for the walk, but we're going to head back now. There is an interpretive sign up here, which I will put in frame for those of you watching the flat version of this. A little, oh, those are metal seats, and I bet they get so hot. Would never sit on that. A little 360-degree education. It's not 3D. People sometimes refer to it as 3D. Ancient red rocks there. And if you want to read that, just pause it, and hopefully that'll be legible in 4K. Anyway, 360 is not 3D necessarily. Some of it is. 3D refers to having binocular view, which creates a sense of depth. 360 is a spherical view, usually still in 2D. That's how I film anyway. And then flat is what the main city walks. That's what you can see this thing moving around. Look at it sway back and forth. Flat is the irregular city walks channel. Very cool stuff. So we're going to head back and walk over by the state bathhouse and the Teepee spa, the gold dome place. I keep forgetting what it's called. It is a pretty view though. And just because we can, we're going to loop around and go in the shade. How's that sound? You guys feeling as hot as I am? What a lovely par 60 again. Alrighty. I don't have a whole lot of faith that it's going to last more than a minute or two because it gets hot. Yeah, there's not going to be as much shade as I'd hoped. Oh well. I think I was telling you at the beginning of this about a book I read called Project Hail Mary. I'm now reading one called The Eye of the Elephant by the people that wrote Cry of the Kalahari, and one of the authors, Delia Owens, Mark and Delia Owens are the authors. Delia Owens wrote, I think it's Where the Crawdads Sing, which came out a couple years ago. Wonderful book. That's a fiction book. The other two are nonfiction about wildlife study in Africa, and I'm loving it. Hashtag not sponsored. Oh, it's nice to be in the shade for even a few seconds. It makes such a difference to the experience. Makes it infinitely more pleasant. Maybe not infinitely, but much more pleasant. Still getting a strong, it's not super strong compared to like Mammoth in terms of sulfur smell, but it is noticeable. It's not unpleasant, it's just different. Look at these pools off to the left. I assume they're hot as well. I'd be interested to come here in the winter and see the steam rising off of all of them. I'd also be interested, if the light wasn't too bad on a clear night, you know, all these sort of artificial lighting, to do some star photography with the steam coming off these in the winter. I think that'd be interesting. Hi there. Okay, so Star Plunge, I hear some music cranking over there, kids are playing. That's definitely the party pool. The state bathhouse up here on the right is very quiet, blissfully so. I would say the anti-party pool, which is my kind of pool, personally, but to each their own. And then the Hellies spot or something, I can never remember. It just won't stick for some reason. Oh, some shade. Somebody with their dog in the shade doing some work on our laptop. Crazy modern world we live in. Very cool. Okay, so this is the state bathhouse. Again, we're not going to go in. Free Wi-Fi, courtesy of Range Wi-Fi. That's pretty cool, so no wonder he's here working. I was thinking, I saw something come up earlier and I